Okay, yep. Michael Greenwood here then. So for this live video, I'm going to be talking about camera confidence, the importance of if you're a business owner getting stuck into video and creating video for your content. In fact, in terms of lead generation, I'm asked all the time how to get more clients, how to get customers. I run a digital marketing agency called Internet Marketing Platinum here in Barnsley, South Yorkshire, and all my clients kind of spread out throughout the UK, and I've got various lead generation methods which I use with my clients to help them to get business, and various lead generation methods to get new clients and for myself. And what it all always boils down to are these three methods basically, or these three kind of categories, which all contain their own ways of lead generation. So for a start, there's three pillars to any business if you really distill it down and simplify it. So there's marketing, sales, and service delivery, or fulfillment. So we're talking about marketing today and a bit of sales as well. So just in case you're watching this and you're not sure about the difference between marketing and sales, marketing comes first. In getting new customers, getting new clients. So marketing is basically generating awareness and interest in your products, services, getting somebody to raise their hand, and then they go into your sales cycle where you're looking at nurturing and closing them. So three ways of generating leads then. So it depends really if you're time rich, cash poor, or if you time poor, cash rich, which one of these you're going to do. But there's generally outbound or outreach into clients, creating content, and paid ads. There's only really those three. You can fit most marketing methods into those three really. So paid ads, you're only going to be able to really run paid ads sustainably over time if you've got some capital to invest. So obviously looking at paid ads as an investment and getting a return on investment, but you need to do it sustainably over time. So I get some prospective clients coming to me and they want to run ads for a week or something like that. But the thing is, it's not really a good idea most of the time just to kind of switch on ads and switch them back off, because you're going to get into learning mode and all kind of other difficulties, which are going to mean that you're not going to have a great or very efficient advertising campaign. So paid ads is really only for clients who are kind of time poor, cash rich. They've got some money to invest. They want to invest some money to buying back their time. Because a lot of these things, if you think about it, getting your business in front of somebody for a paid ad, it's only really like accelerating and putting some money behind what you can do kind of organically anyway with outreach and content. So it's paid advertising for if you're time poor and cash rich, paid advertising. If you're not, so if you don't have much money, you're a startup business owner, you're a solopreneur, you're a freelancer, and you don't have much capital or any capital, you've just got your own time to invest, so you're time rich and cash poor, then you've got two options. You've got the other two options out of those three. So you've got outbound and content. And the beauty about outbound and content is that whenever you outreach to somebody, so you might pick up the phone and make a phone call to somebody who might be interested, might be a good fit for doing business with you. That person may then go online. So when you call someone, may go online, start to look around the internet, see if you're a scammer or not. Basically, see if you've got some content. And generally, scammers don't have content. you know. So people are generally, when you've contacted them, they'll be looking around the internet for some content. So if you've got some content, usually stand you in good stead to having a better chance of converting that lead. So they both go hand in hand. So what are the different ways of doing outreach? You can do you can send emails. You can do cold calling, or telemarketing. You can do all kinds of things really. You can send DMs and stuff like that. LinkedIn Sales Navigator is particularly good because you can send things like in mails and stuff like that. And I'm not talking about hard selling here. I'm not talking about going straight in with an offer, but you know, just slowly reaching out, expanding your network, nurturing over time, and seeing this is a long game. But and if you've got any kind of reservations about doing any outreach in business, then I would ask you to kind of look at that and see if it is a self-limiting belief or anything like that, because I think a lot of business owners they tend to wear as a badge of honor this word of mouth thing, where I speak to a lot of business owners and they say, "Oh, we don't do any marketing, we don't do any paid ads, we don't do any outreach, we don't call or email or anything like that. We get all our work through word of mouth, you know, through our happy customer testimonials." But the reality of that is that word of mouth can only get you so far in business. It can only you're more likely to have peaks and troughs if you're just relying on people calling you and, you know, inbound. If you're looking at growing a business, you're looking at scaling a business, then it's usually a mixture of all those things. Actually, once you get to that level, when you can run paid ads as well, running paid ads as well, because they all go hand in hand anyway. So right, have a sip of my coffee. So I've got a lovely Colombian blend here, which is from a place in Wakefield that we found, which is lovely. And I've made a macchiato. So that's where you put the milk in first. So you froth the milk, you put the milk in first, and then you put the coffee in. And it's all fresh, freshly roasted while you're there as well. It's really nice. But yeah, you've got those three ways of getting out there. If you just have the mindset of relying on word of mouth, you're probably going to have peaks and troughs and stuff like that. If you're really trying to push in business and scale up your business, then you know you could have an hard time basically with that. Right, I'm just checking my audio. So audio is good. I am going through the mic. Just having a little panic there. Yeah. So yeah. If you're gonna do content, which I do, like I said, it goes hand in hand with outbound. So doing outbound and content together is a good idea. So what I say is, look, pick one outbound method and pick one method of doing or a method of content where you're going to do most of that type of content. And for me, it's always video, because when I've tested this, video just tends to do better than kind of static content. But I'd always say do pattern interrupts as well with your content. So like, for example, if you're posting content onto your Facebook, you probably notice from my feed that I'll do pattern interrupts. So I'll do kind of some text-based content, I'll do some video, and then I'll mix it up with some graphics and things like that. So you don't want to just really stick to one, or at least I wouldn't stick to just one type of content. So I wouldn't stick to just video, but my predominant form of content is video, and then everything else is kind of mixed in there as kind of this ancillary thing. So you're going to do your content, you're going to do your outbound, and then from there, the tool kind of mix up together. So you're going to be calling people, and then they're going to go online and see if you're a real person, and then check out your content. Right. So for the next bit of this live, I just want to run through any blockers to you doing content that you may have, because obviously best form of content these days is video content, and you may have some kind of reservations as a business owner about doing content, basically. And there's various different reasons. I mean, I would talk to a guy the other day, and he's in the military, so he's got some kind of reasons behind. He just can't have his own. It's not going to be a good idea to have his face online, and that tends to be like the exception to the rule rather than the rule itself. So that might be your circumstance as well. Maybe you've got a job and there's some kind of issue with you've been online as well and all that kind of thing. So maybe your business is a side hustle and you've got some restrictions in your contract where you can't be online or anything like that. And that's all the more reason to at some point, if you can, if your business goes really well, you can start to get to a point where you can do it full time, which it depends on your circumstances. I didn't want to make this content about just for full time business owners. It can be you might be part time, side hustle, whatever. You might just be getting your business off the ground or whatever. I just wanted to help a bunch of people out, even if it's just one person who sees this content and it makes a change in their life. So yeah, I wanted to run through some common blockers as to why you as a business owner or freelancer might have some reservations about creating content, and maybe I could help you through some help you to overcome those challenges, basically. So I'm just going to finish off my coffee. That is the second coffee of the day, and it's like 10 to 2 here. So, yeah, that's about normal for me. I usually have about 2 or 3 coffees a day. I think yesterday I had 4 coffees, but that's kind of that is the exception rather than the rule for me. I was kind of exceptionally tired yesterday. I've had a better night's sleep last night. Anyway, yeah. So as a business owner, you may face several challenges when it comes to creating content, and some common blockers from my experience. Some are self-limiting beliefs as well, where you can do affirmations around that as well. But yeah, I've come up with these nine potential blockers, and how we can overcome those. So first one is the lack of time, which is one that comes up in general for a bunch of different reasons. So as a business owner, you're already very busy, and you may have that lack of time, and you're just too busy in your day-to-day operations to feel like you've got any time at all to focus on content at all. Now, I'm going to talk about efficiency. I'm going to talk about some methods to actually get some content in, and also possibly a time audit to actually look at some of the things that you're doing in your business, and come up with some ideas around how you can get some time from other areas and reprioritize, really, because things, we've got to protect our time in business as busy business owners, but there may be some things that we're doing that aren't really moving the needle. So if we're really honest and do look at what we're doing in a day, is there any time that we can take from somewhere else where it's less productive time or whatever to actually create the content? Now the thing is, content creation doesn't actually have to be that time consuming, and I'm a big believer in batching things together. So one of the things that you can do to create your content is actually batch it. You can batch probably 80% of your content into a few hours a month. One of the methods that I do, and I do it with clients as well, is I'll invite a client into our little studio in the office, where you've got cameras already set up, lights all ready with microphone and everything, and they can bring a change of shirt, change your clothes and things like that. Teleprompter set up. We've got maybe some scripts with to fire off 20 or 30 pieces of content in half a day or something like that, and that can all be filmed in batch. They've got a bottle of water there in case the throat gets dry from speaking too much. But you can literally create the outward appearance that you've created a month's worth or even 2 months worth of content, and you can create all that in an afternoon. You can look different. You can do your hair differently. You can put an hat on, take an hat off, change your shirt, change your clothing, all that kind of thing. And you can batch create content. So if we've all got the same number of hours in a day, and it's just sometimes being more efficient with the time that we've got. So batching content is a good way of getting a bunch of content, and you can do that in a good solid half a day a month, and then that can be edited, and my team can then edit the videos for you. So your time commitment as a business owner, if you wanted a done for you service, as in coming to the studio and get filmed, or we could do that virtually as well. There's a way of me doing that over Zoom with you as well. So I've got a virtual studio set up as a service. I can help you to give you a shopping list of what to buy off Amazon in terms of your camera, mic, lighting, that kind of thing. We can do that as well. So I've got that as a service, and then I can coach you on scripting and things like that. So the time, if you've got the desire and the definitiveness of purpose that you want to stand out from your competition and have video content for your business, then there are ways and means of making it happen in less time than you probably think. So lack of time doesn't have to be a barrier, and really it's about having a consistent content strategy, which can actually save you time in the long run, because these videos that we're creating together, they can actually attract leads, and they can actually work for you as almost like a salesperson 24/7, and explain your products and services, explain your business, go through FAQs, go through your common objections and the handling of those and the rebuttals, and help with attracting brand new customers and clients to your business. So reducing your need for constant manual outreach as well. I'm not saying don't do outreach as well as that. Do outreach as well, of course, but it can help to it can even get you leads while you sleep as well. So I mean, one of my recent client testimonials, that one of the kind of sound bites there, she's making money while she sleeps now for the first time in 15 years in business, I think it was. So yeah, lack of time, don't let that be a barrier to you. Don't let that be a barrier at all. Next one is lack of content ideas. So one of the main things that comes up is the business owner seeing it as a struggle to actually come up with fresh ideas and all that kind of thing. I get this objection a lot when I get this concern when I'm pitching regular content plans for content where it's 30, 60, 90 videos. And obviously 30 videos is one a day. So as part of a regular content plan that I'll do for clients. If you're in a particular industry where you need to really cut through the noise, because a lot of competitors are doing a lot of content, especially this is particularly good for e-commerce business owners, where you've got 10,000 products or whatnot, and you really need to create a lot of content. So even 30 videos a month is often not enough. So I've got this package where it's 30, 60 or 90 videos, which is £5,000, £7,500, 10 grand plus VAT per month. So the big old packages, but they tend to be for e-commerce businesses where they'll be turning over something like $1 million plus a month. They're spending about 100k a month on other marketing channels. So they've got that 5, 7.5 or 10 grand a month kind of proportion for the video content. So yeah, the lack of content ideas is a bit of a myth, really, because there's always different ways of explaining things, and especially when I'm coaching clients, I'll notice that from one week to the next, your kind of paradigm can shift, your perspective. You can be a different person, so explaining things in a different way. What I explain one day, it might not have made sense, and then explain it in a different way, or maybe explain it the same way, it starts to make sense and things like that. So your content, you're kind of attacking it from different angles. There's different ways of saying things. One of the big myths with content creation is that you're going to bore people, but actually repetition is one of the most important things. So repeating that marketing message with your brand voice, so there's some continuity, but it's different ways of explaining the same thing, really. So it is really, really important, repetition in marketing, and it's kind of like underplayed as well. So yeah, lack of content ideas is not a big problem. But I mean, there's lots of angles. I just run through some angles with the type of content that you can have. I mean, probably one of the most important videos is a brand message video. So this is an overview video, origin story of the business owner, founder story, things like that. And it's a very professional video, as in the production value, at least a couple of camera angles, an A cam and a B cam, to film that. So that's probably the pinnacle or the most important video. If you're just going to have one video, that's one that you can pin into your social media. You can have it on the About Us page on or even your own page of your website and things like that. Pin it to your YouTube. So this is an overview of your business. Very high production value that wants to be. You've got other types of videos. You've got FAQ, so frequently asked questions from your customers. This can save you time. So next time you ask that question, you might not even be asked it because that customer will be doing the research about you, and then they found a video. So like I said earlier, when you're doing outbound, you make a call, to a B2B prospect, they'll go and find content anyway. They'll look you up online, make sure you're not a scammer. So there's all kinds of content that you can have, customer testimonials for your conversion videos. Each video has a purpose in the funnel, in the marketing and sales funnel as well. But with every niche, with every business type, there's always something new to talk about. There's some topical, newsworthy stuff. With your accountants, you've got all kinds of things with the VAT and the thresholds and personal tax and all that kind of thing. Should I go limited or stay a sole trader? And what's the employer's NI and all that kind of thing, national insurance and stuff like that. So with every type of business, there's always some content, and it always surprised me. I'll look at a business and they have kind of a lack of video content, so it's good to think in terms of lots of videos being produced over time to be peppered throughout your social media rather than just like one-off videos. It's no longer a matter of just having like a one-off video these days. It's more like you'd want a bunch of videos over time. So that's your lack of content ideas. It's not really a problem. I dealt with you with scripting anyway. Help you with new ideas. Do some competitive research. If none of your competitors are doing much, look at other types of business, get some ideas from those. There's a process to generate new content ideas. So that's number 2, lack of content ideas. Number 3 is fear of not being good enough, imposter syndrome, perfectionism, fear that of getting in front of camera because of what your family are going to think, what your friends are going to think, fear of alienating people, fear of making mistakes, just the fear of putting yourself out there. But look, as business owners, it's almost like a non-negotiable these days to get out there on camera, because kind of gone are the days with the faceless companies who are kind of hiding behind, like a really fancy website and all that kind of thing. It's not really a thing. But especially for micro businesses, especially for like your small business owners, it's not really a thing not to be on video. So for me, to get that competitive edge, being on video is pretty much key. It's pretty much one of those things that we need to embrace. So once we realise that, we've got these barriers to overcome. And kind of the beauty of this, that the big realization for me, is that authenticity kind of trumps everything else with content. So creating content that's going to resonate with people, content where you're showing your real self. It's like I'm live now for this, so it's kind of warts and all. I'm not going to be able to edit this content. It's completely live, with very little planning. As I suppose you could say that, I know what I'm talking about. I do know what I'm talking about. So I've basically planned to do this in like 5 minutes and all that kind of thing. But because I can speak about my topic at length for hours and hours and hours, then I can go live. So if you know what you're talking about with your business and you've been doing it for a while and you're confident in what you do and all that kind of thing, video is like the natural extension to bottling your knowledge as well. And getting out there and doing what you want, just getting out there to more people. Because if you're in a physical room and you're in a networking event and you speak to 10 people or 20 people, that's one thing. But when you do this online, you can produce a video and you can get to a worldwide audience as well. So depending on your ideal customer profile, your ICP, depending on your target audience, etc. Because obviously, in terms of marketing, if you kind of just trying to market to everybody, you're marketing to nobody. I'm marketing this video as free advice, informative content to help the micro or small business freelancer, business owner, side hustle, whatever, to create more video content. And then obviously on the back end, I can offer editing. I can offer virtual studio setup. That's where I help you over Zoom with a shopping list and which camera to buy, or use the one on your phone, or which microphone to buy, which is one of the things that I'm asked all the time. Lighting, how to edit. Shall I use CapCut? Shall I use DaVinci? Shall I use Premiere Pro? Shall I use something else? So I can sell a done-for-you service on the back end, but this is free content just to kind of show myself as an expert in what I know about and what I do as a business. And you can DIY this, you can do this yourself, and that's absolutely fine as well. Loads of information out there on the internet, but it's kind of, if it's put into a package like this, then it's all, you can consume it as a blueprint, can't you? When you're going online, you're trying to find things, you don't know what's true, you don't know what's the right way, you don't know what's up to date and things like that. So it's nice to have it in a nice package like this. So yeah, fear of not being good enough, that's usually a self-limiting belief, because what I do is I look at the Google reviews from clients, I look at the video testimonials that I've collected over the years, and that is proof that clients love what I do as a marketer, as a business development growth specialist, and I particularly niched into as a digital marketing and lead generation specialist. So that is evidence. So I can have an affirmation to counteract that self-limiting belief. If I start to get any imposter syndrome, which can be something like, my clients love what I do a fantastic job for my clients. So that would be an affirmation. And the limiting belief would have been, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. What if we get found out? You know, I don't know what I'm doing. And that's a limiting belief. And you can have that voice in your head, and that's imposter syndrome. So, like I said, the affirmation for that can be something like, yeah, I'm fantastic what I do. The evidence is there in the customer testimonials. The evidence is in there in the feedback loop that I receive from clients. I do a great job for clients. So you reprogramming those pathways and getting rid of that negative self talk. The thing is, there's a book called Ready Fire Aim, and what it's about is you come up with an idea, you want to take it to market as soon as possible, you want to see if there's product market fit for it, like a particular offer, and then you want to course correct along the way. So ready, fire, aim. It's not ready, aim, fire, because if you aim, that's where you can get into your perfectionism, your procrastination, never get started, you're suffering from your analysis paralysis. But if you do ready, fire, aim, you can get something out there. See if you get. I'm talking about, for example, I'll give you a real example on my Facebook. I'll create a post. I'm thinking about launching this content creation accelerator where I train a bunch of business owners up. I'm looking for 5 business owners. We're going to do a Zoom twice a week. I'm going to show you how to edit. I'm going to show you how to come up with content ideas. I'm going to show you where to post it. I'm going to teach you the mindset around winning content, basically. Anybody up for this? And that's getting a proof of concept. That's just getting an idea out there. So that's ready with an idea that I want to help a bunch of business owners, firing, as in getting the post out there and just seeing what happens. And if nothing happens, so what? It doesn't matter, does it? You know, you've tried something. It doesn't matter. And then you course correct along the way. So that's where you start to aim and you think, oh, right, I'll create a variation on that. That's got some likes now. Right, let's double down on that idea. A bit like I did a video about growing tomatoes as an analogy for paid ads. So you grow 10 tomato plants, 2 do really well, they shoot up. You kind of kill off the 8 that don't do very well, or you keep them going somewhere else, depending on your space and how much good soil you've got. But you want your 2, you want to propagate those. You want to take cuttings and create 10 more from those, and then you've got kind of like your survival of the fittest and stuff like that going on, your Darwinian thing. So yeah, in terms of perfectionism, it really is the enemy of progress, because even kind of imperfect content can be valuable. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to get that perfect content. It's better to get it out there. Just think about Bill Gates with Microsoft, Windows. He didn't wait until he had the most perfect operating system. He got a beta version out there. He let the audience test it, or he let the users test it, and everything like that. The people who are actually using it, people who are actually buying computers which can be Microsoft Windows installed. It would have never got started if he would have not just got something out there. So that's the fear of not being good enough, imposter syndrome, perfectionism. Next one, that one number 3, number 4, not knowing where to post is the next one. So not knowing where to post. So yeah, this can be a blocker because people again they get to a point where they think, oh right, what's doing best? Is that Facebook? Is it Instagram? LinkedIn? Where's my audience? Is it on LinkedIn? All right, I don't want to, just post anywhere. Just don't want to just post willy nilly. Again, it's a potential blocker because it is a potential blocker because if you just overthinking things and you're not getting started because you're trying to get into that point, you're getting analysis paralysis. Again, that's where you can get to a point where you're just not going to take any action. So it's much better to just post everywhere, really, because there's something called repurposing content. where you can create a video. You can stream to multiple platforms at the same time. You can create a video once, you can put it into different ratios, like 9:16, so 1080 by 1920 vertical. You can do 1:1 ratio square, which is 1080 by 1080, etc. You can do your 4:5, which is 1080 by 1350. Obviously, landscape as well, or horizontal, which is 16 by 9. So there's all kinds of ways of just repurposing content. You've obviously got, like on TikTok, the you've got the text and overlays coming up at different points as well. So you want to make sure that you're not kind of if you've got some text coming up on your video, you want to adhere to those kind of boundaries and things like that. So yeah, but not knowing where to post, it's almost like another way of getting into this perfectionism thing where you're thinking, if it's an infographic, I'll put it onto Pinterest or Instagram. If it's, I only want to go live on there because this is where my audience is. I think that can get you into over analysis. I would say that once you've got enough data, that's the point where you can start to look at your KPIs and think, right, look at your conversion rates. We're spending a proportion of the time, or when you get to a point, if you get to a point where you've got a team, they're spending time on TikTok. They're spending half of the time on TikTok, and that's not really converting, or it is converting really well. Right, let's take some time from TikTok and go on to LinkedIn. So that's where the audience is, because obviously B2B audience is on LinkedIn, but that doesn't mean that you can't get B2B clients from Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube and all over the place, really. So, but when you're getting started is what I'm talking about. When you're getting started and building momentum, don't worry too much about it. Just post everywhere, get an account everywhere, post everywhere, 4 or 5 or 6 social networks, repurpose the same content, just post it, yeah. And then you can look at your KPIs and your metrics later on. And then once you've got a team and you're paying them and you need to get a return on investment. I'm not saying being efficient with your own time, because you don't want to scale inefficiency into things, but I just don't want too many barriers to you getting started with content, if that makes sense. So yeah, it is true that you want to identify where your audience spends the time on social networks, and certainly that rings true. But I am not a believer in just saying B2B's on LinkedIn, so just post on LinkedIn and ignore Facebook, etc. Obviously, my audience is B2B, and I'm on Facebook now for this live. Some will tell you that you don't need to be everywhere, but I'm a big believer in being kind of ubiquitous and all over the place and omnipresent, and that kind of thing. Trying to cut through the noise as much as possible with the resources that you've got. But yeah, focusing on the platforms where your audience is most active, you are going to get your most bang for your buck. But at the end of the day, how are you going to find that out unless you follow conventional marketing wisdom and knowledge on B2B's on LinkedIn? Then how are you going to find it out for your business without trying different things? So you need to do a test and measure, in my opinion. Right, so next one is, and this is one that comes up all the time in like lots of different marketing. So it comes up with SEO, blog post writing, content creation, sort of video, everything. It comes up with all kinds of things. So I see business owners all the time where they'll do something for 2 days, or they'll have this like 12-hour kind of this mad fear, panic, need to get some business in, like 1 day thing where they just like post all over the place, and you've seen them posting like 20 times in a day, and then nothing. And it's the same way, and it's the same with lots of different things. Consistency over time. I think the toss of the air, it's going to beat. It's going to beat somebody who does loads of effort in a short space of time. You're better off doing little and often over time for weeks and months and years and decades, and kind of outpacing in that kind of way, because there's going to be a cumulative effect to that. For a start, people are going to see your posts, and then it's going to kind of they're going to reflect on it, and then they're going to see it again. If they see it all at once, it's like, oh, I forget that, yeah, because it's not made an impression. So definitely the plan wants to be consistency over time. You can do that with good planning, content plan, content calendar, scheduling posts and things like that. So I think not seeing an immediate ROI or return on investment is one of the things that a lot of business owners that kind of puts them off with things. So you've got to kind of believe in the process as well. Look, there wouldn't be other business owners doing it. I wouldn't do it myself if it didn't work. I wouldn't have a big proportion of my business into video content for clients if it didn't work. Obviously, video works. All the younger generation, they're on there on TikTok, they're on there on Instagram. They're one day going to be the people who are buying the products and services more and more as well. So that is the growing trend as well. But just focus on the cumulative effects, such as building up your brand authority, and gaining that trust, building that know, like, and trust, and nurturing your leads over time, rather than trying to get like the get rich quick thing, which is just a scam. It don't work. So it's over time, and those business owners who can think in terms of a longer time horizon, those are the ones who will and do win over time. All things being considered equal. So yeah, and the thing is, content marketing, it does compound over time, because once people know you've been around for a while, there's that trust aspect anyway. So you will have done business with a brand, and they've been around, established 1900 or whatever, and they've stood the test of time. So when you're getting warranty for them, for that watch that you buy or that pair of shoes or whatever it is, it's well made, because they've been around for that long. So don't worry about not seeing immediate results, but just do something that's sustainable over time. The same with anything. If you're going to run paid ads, I always ask clients, we're going to do this every month, we're going to scale it up. Is this sustainable for you? And if I start to get some red flags with a prospective client and they think, oh, what happens after 1 month then? Will I get results after 1 week? Will I get my money back after 1 week? All that kind of thing. These are red flags. And I won't do business with them, basically, because they haven't got the mindset to put in something sustainably over time and believe in the process. So yeah, content marketing, video content compounds over time. If you don't see immediate results, it's pretty normal, because there's a cumulative effect to it. But remember, you're building content which can pay dividends for years to come. The shelf life of a video can be really long time, a good few years, and you're building business assets for yourself that can work for you 24/7 around the clock as well, attracting leads, attracting new customers and clients long term. And another thing, I would not. This is the way that we work out paid ads, content, and anything like the actual return on investment. It's how much it costs you in terms of time, resources, money, etc. But then it's the LTV, the lifetime value, not just that initial first basket sale, that initial that initial first sale from the client. It's the LTV, the lifetime value, and we also like to work out the word of mouth around that. So you get a new client, you run a paid ad or a piece of content. It's all part of the marketing mix, and you're looking at the attribution as well. So where did that client come from? What has been the first point of attribution? What has been the last point of attribution? Because they might see a paid ad and then they've got some content, and you've made an outbound call. And I'll just ask you this now: in your business, have you got eyes on lead attribution? If not, something to get in place, because if you're not measuring it, and you're putting money into it, then again you don't know where to put your budget. But yeah, content marketing, it compounds over time. There's a cumulative effect. So not seeing ROI immediately, not a problem. And it's the mindset around planting seeds now, and then in 3 or 4 months or 2 years or whatever it is, seeing a mature campaign. And I'm not saying, this is the thing in business. It's like people who think over years and decades, they tend to do better than people who think short term. we've got a big vision to do well. So next one, that one number 5. Next one is limited budget. Right. Okay. So everybody's got some time, and you're either going to pay for content with your time or your money. And the more money you've got, you can throw that at getting or invest that in getting time back. Yeah. So you tend to find that it comes back to this idea that you're either time rich, cash poor, or time poor and cash rich. And rich people with money, they've got money, they've got less time, and they'll pay people, they'll leverage other people's time to get back time. Yeah, and it's more cost effective to pay experts in doing things than for them to try and learn the thing or try to do it themselves, because they're that leveraged with other people's time, and they invest the money to get time back. So when you've got a limited budget, a common obstacle is the belief that content creation requires a significant budget, because you're going to have to pay people, to write your scripts, to design your videos, to perhaps even run paid ads to power up your videos. But the thing is, when you're doing this organically, so we're doing those two methods, we're doing outbound, so we're calling, we're emailing, that kind of thing. And also we're doing the content, and they're both working hand in hand. With the content part of it, you can DIY it. So you've got a camera on your phone. The mic that's built into the iPhones these days is it's probably good enough, so you don't even need a separate mic. Depending on what you're doing, sometimes it's good to have a mic with you all the time. If you're moving around, you've got the camera static or further away, you would need a mic, so you need to be close to the mic. But if you're just doing vlog style, and as long as you're not out in a windy environment, you're not going to get, you get that wind noise and everything. You can probably start content with like free version of CapCut to edit it, iPhone, a fairly recent version, and you've got everything you need. ChatGPT or Claude for a bit of script writing, and just setting some time aside, doing a time audit. Right, what am I doing in a day? Is this all moving the needle? Right, that's not working. Let's stop doing that. Or I'm scrolling mindlessly for 3 hours on social media. Right, let's stop doing that. Let's stop being a consumer, be more a creator. Start creating content for my own business. So that's the kind of mindset with a limited budget. You have got either time or money. You either got more time in your hands or money. If you're saying you've got no time, but you're not making enough money, then something's wrong there. You're probably a busy fool, to put it bluntly. So you need to look at what you're doing with time audit, and then start to stop doing some things, because a lot of it is processor elimination. You've got to trim the fat and get rid of some things that you're doing, yeah? And then you make time for things that you should be doing. So great content doesn't need to have a massive budget. You can start somewhere. Got to take some baby steps with a creative strategy and consistency, which I can help you with, or you can learn to do yourself. And that all comes back to what I said earlier. You can go searching on YouTube and social media for this definitive way of doing things. But actually, just focusing on doing something, getting it out there, ready, fire, aim, is the way of doing it, because you need the audience. You create a feedback loop to let you know what's working, but you've got to get some content out there and not procrastinate. Get it out there, plan it, do it, release it, iterate. Yeah, it'll get better over time, and then you can see high results and a small investment from taking action. And I'm all for taking action on things rather than planning too much. I plan the goals. I plan to hit the goals, and then the activity levels happen around those. There's not big planning sessions with let's just make sure this is tweet right. Look, get it out there, and let the audience do the feedback. So next is the difficulty with consistency. So look, with content, you do need consistency. You do need to get content out consistently. So and you need to pace yourself. It needs to be sustainable. So I said this near the start of the video about batch content creating in advance. So this idea of spending 3 or 4 hours a month creating the bulk of your content, and then you can go live in between, and then you can add some other ad hoc bits. But getting your kind of foundational content created, and then you can send that over for editing. Or you do it, your team, my team does it, whatever. But using something like Buffer or Hootsuite or whatever, I use iLevel to schedule content for my business and my clients. It's like an all-in-one marketing suite. It's really good. But consistency doesn't even necessarily mean daily posting. It's just got to be a manageable schedule for your budget. I don't want to put you off from this by saying, look, you've got to have 30 pieces of content. You've got to have 30 videos a month. It doesn't have to be. Some clients, we do a video every other day. Some clients, they have 4 pieces of content a month, so 1 a week or something. So it doesn't have to be every day. It doesn't have to be just once a day as well. You can do more than 1 piece of content per day. So you can do 60, 90, whatever. You know, you can really blast this stuff out. But it needs to be a manageable, sustainable schedule, like once a week, and then build it up from there. So I would say a good starting point would be once a week. Great to have it once a day. Every other day is great too, but once a week is something to aim for, and a starting point. Start with once a week, try to get to once a day. So that's the consistency aspect of it. And schedule it out, or use a company like mine to help you to schedule it. Yeah, so you can outsource that and take that off your plate and focus on running your business and what you're good at. So 2 more to go. We've got having an unclear brand voice. So this can be something that makes some business owners panic, so that they think, oh, I'm not going to be able to communicate my brand effectively, in a way that resonates with our target audience. So it is true that you want to have some consistency. So maybe that's a consistent person on camera. Maybe that's where your values, your mission, speaking consistently to having a consistent target audience, things like that. So we've got some messaging frameworks basically that ensure that you've got consistency throughout your tone and your voice. But again, these are all kind of marketing terms which sound a bit scary, and I don't want these to stop you from actually getting videos out there. The chances are, as a business owner, if you're going to get in front of camera, you're going to have a clear brand voice anyway. So because it's going to be you on camera. So it's not going to be really an issue. So I don't want these kind of terms and words and phrases to kind of put you off from doing that. So you might think that you need to speak to some kind of branding expert before you even start to do this and spend £4,000 or £5,000 coming up with some clear brand voice, or you're going to look stupid in front of your your colleagues or your competitors or something like that. Unless you're a big business, then I don't think you need to do that. In fact, as a startup business owner, if you're starting a business, I don't even think you need a website. I think you can do it just with just on Facebook or social media. It's all free, just needs your time. So I would not invest a penny until you've got a proof of concept on what you're doing. Put a post on your Facebook. If you're watching this right now and you want to be, I don't know, let's say you've got a job and you want a side hustle as a logo designer, put a post right now on your Facebook and say, look, anybody need a logo for the business, or anybody know somebody who needs a logo for the business, and then just post it. Yeah. Just type it in, black, red, whatever, yellow background, orange background, whatever it is. Go to the free version of Canva, create something, and then just schedule it within Facebook. You don't need Hootsuite, you don't need iLevel, you don't need any of that stuff. You don't need Sprout Social. You don't need to invest £100-200 a month in social media management tools or whatever, or $300 or whatever it is these days. You don't need to do that, you can use the free scheduling within the social network for free with your time, because you're time rich and you're cash poor. You can't afford to invest in that. You need proof of concept. You need to know if there's people out there who need logos. Yeah. So you need to do your market research. Best way of doing that: put an offer out there, and then see what happens, and then do some variations on that. If one of them gets likes, right, double down on that, and then you're away. So yeah. Next one is getting overwhelmed by the technology of the gear. I need a better mic. Oh, is this camera good enough? Just the best camera that you've got. You've got a phone that's got a camera on it. You might have a DSLR, a mirrorless camera. You might have a fancy video camera, something like that. You might have a cinema camera. I don't know. Whatever you've got, that is the best device that you've got. It's the camera that's on you, the camera that you own. So have a look at the gear that you've already got. Yeah. You do need good quality audio. Good quality audio is probably more important. In fact, it is more important, in my opinion, than the visual. So having good quality audio, because people will switch off if it's bad quality audio. And then lighting is very important. So you can take like a poor camera and have really good lighting, and it makes the world of difference. But you can have a really top quality, like 70, 100 grand Arri Alexa or whatever, or like a 20 grand red camera, 20, 30 grand red camera, and you can have bad lighting and it looks really bad. So those are camera brands anyway, like high-end camera brands that use in films, or a Sony. Yeah. So there's so many platforms, so many tools, so many inputs, so many bits of advice out there from marketers, that you can get overwhelmed and get that analysis paralysis. So what I would say is script something out or have some bullet points about what you're going to talk about. Set up your mic or whatever, or just use one in the phone. Just don't bother with a mic. One in the phone. Latest iPhones have got really good mics. If you haven't got a light, like an LED videography light, next to a window, or do it outside or something like that, and just press record, and then just away, and then you'll have forward momentum. Because if you think about it in terms of getting traction, if you think about how when you're driving a vehicle, you're driving a car, it takes more energy to get up to speed, more fuel to get up to speed when you from starting the engine, from getting going to when you're actually coasting along. So you're building momentum, and then you're building these daily disciplines of creating some content, or at least making sure that it's going out. I'm not saying you need to create content every day, batch it, like I've said, and then schedule. But you're building then momentum, you're building discipline as well. So what is discipline? It's the ability to give yourself a command and then follow through with it. And the thing is, you don't have to master everything in terms of the technology. You just really need to really just get right on one platform initially, and then you can learn from course correction along the way. So remember what I said about ready, fire, aim. So you get ready with an idea, you fire, so you record it, edit it, get it out there, or go live or whatever, and mix it up. So you can go live a bit, you can do some pre-recorded content, get it out there, repurpose it, get it all over social media, and then once you're comfortable with the technology, you can gradually expand on your gear and get better lighting and all that. But you need to make a start, need to get proof of concept, as in build your confidence up, and then take it from there. So, but essentially, just coming to the close now, but by addressing these common kind of blockers, that you might have as a business owner, micro business owner, or freelancer in creating content, these 9 steps can they can help you to come up with some practical strategies, overcome these hurdles and everything. But just remember, everything in business I think business is like just 95% mindset and one big personal development exercise, and creating valuable content, authentic content, is a big part of business these days. So I'll just wrap up by saying, if you want to grow your business, being afraid, fear is false expectations appearing real, and not getting past that kind of mental hurdle, or the subconscious trying to keep you in your comfort zone, and that old paradigm kind of coming into conflict and screaming out at you with that negative self-talk. Oh no, you don't want to do this. This is not really you. Oh, why are you doing this? What if you get it wrong? You got imposter syndrome and all that kind of thing. Got to do the affirmations. Got to overcome this. Got to create the new pathways. Get some video content, because it surprises me when you got some business owners and they take it right to the bone in terms of the running out of cash. That they won't overcome the fear of picking up the phone and doing outbound or reaching out to people, but without generating interest in your business, especially these days where it's really tough. You've got to really double down on things. You've got to really do more and more these days. To have a similar effect to what you did like 10, 15 years ago with a lot of businesses. I won't get into like blue ocean, red ocean. There's a book called Blue Ocean Strategy. It's about market saturation and stuff like that. But just wrap up this video by saying, look, there's these 9 things that I've mentioned. So lack of time, lack of content ideas, fear of not being good enough, so your perfectionism, not knowing where to post, not seeing an immediate ROI, so just giving up or just not having belief in the process, feeling like you got a limited budget or not enough time. First one's not enough time. Limited budget is number 6. Difficulty with consistency and taking a consistent approach. Unclear brand voice. Being overwhelmed by the technology, the gear, the platforms, which camera to buy and all that kind of thing. I'll create content when I get that new camera. Well, you've got a camera now. You've got a camera on your phone. Come on, let's take some action today. And don't put off until tomorrow what you can do today. That's something that my dad says. I remember him saying that to me when we were younger. So don't put off till tomorrow what you can do today. And I'll wrap up now. And I hope that somebody out there has got some value from this. I'll see you next time.